Some of the most disruptive companies in the world are built on a simple, ancient, and almost radical idea: take from the rich and give to the poor. What if giving your product away for free to millions of people wasn't an act of charity? What if it was the most ruthless and effective way to dominate a market? Business models that look like non-profits on the surface are often incredibly profitable, multi-billion-dollar enterprises. They operate using a powerful and counterintuitive approach: the Robin Hood strategy. In a traditional business, the transaction is simple. A company sells a product or service, and a customer pays a price that covers the cost and provides a profit. It's a straightforward exchange of value. But what if your market is made up of two completely different groups of people? A small group with a lot of money and a high willingness to pay, and a massive group with very little money, or none at all. The Robin Hood business model doesn't treat them equally. It intentionally and strategically overcharges the first group, the rich, in order to subsidize a free or incredibly low-cost service for the second group, the poor. This is a strategy known as cross-subsidization. But how is this a sustainable business model? Why would one group of customers knowingly agree to pay more to fund another? And how have wildly different companies like Tom's Shoes, LinkedIn, and even budget airlines used this exact principle to build powerful, defensible, and wildly successful businesses? That's the question we're answering today. The purest and most famous example of the Robin Hood strategy is Tom's Shoes. The story begins in 2006, when an American entrepreneur named Blake Mycoskie was traveling in Argentina. He saw the profound hardship faced by children who didn't have shoes to protect their feet. He wanted to help, but he was skeptical of traditional charity, which can sometimes be inefficient and create dependency. Mycoskie didn't want to start a non-profit. He wanted to build a sustainable, for-profit business that could solve the problem. The idea he came up with was brilliantly simple: 1-for-1. For every single pair of shoes a customer buys, Tom's gives a brand new pair of shoes to a child in need. Let's break down the mechanics. The rich in this model are consumers in developed countries, who are willing to pay a premium price, say $50, for a simple, inexpensive-to-make canvas shoe. The poor are the children who receive a pair of shoes for free. The high profit margin from the sale of the first pair of shoes is used to cover the manufacturing and distribution costs of the second, donated pair, as well as all the company's overhead and, of course, its profit. This wasn't just a clever business model. It was one of the greatest marketing stories ever told. People weren't just buying a pair of shoes, they were buying a feeling. They were buying a chance to participate in a story of generosity. This created a powerful emotional connection to the brand that turned customers into passionate evangelists and generated a priceless amount of free press. For Tom's, the act of giving was the marketing. The Robin Hood strategy is not just for physical products with a social mission. It is the fundamental principle that powers many of the largest digital platforms in the world. Consider LinkedIn. It is the world's dominant professional network, with over 1 billion members. The vast majority of those members have never paid the company a single dollar. The problem for a network like LinkedIn is classic. How do you build a massive platform and make money without charging the users who create the value? The answer is a sophisticated, digital Robin Hood model. The poor, the product. This group is the millions of regular professionals who use LinkedIn for free. They build their profiles, connect with colleagues, share articles, and browse for jobs. 4 These free users are not the customers. Their data, their attention, and their collective presence on the platform are the actual product. A professional network with only a few thousand recruiters on it is worthless. A network with 1 billion professionals is a goldmine. The rich, the customers. There are two main groups of paying customers who are willing to spend a fortune to get access to that goldmine. 1. Recruiters. Corporate recruiters and hiring managers pay thousands of dollars per person, per year, for LinkedIn Talent Solutions, a suite of powerful search and messaging tools that allows them to find the perfect candidates within that massive network of free users. 2. Sales professionals. Sales teams pay a similar premium for Sales Navigator, a tool that helps them find leads and identify key decision makers at target companies. 5 The free users create the value that the paying corporate clients need. LinkedIn gives a valuable career management tool to the poor masses for free, and this is subsidized by the rich corporations who need to recruit and sell to them. This strategy isn't always about altruism or freemium software. It can be a brutally effective commercial weapon. Look no further than the budget airline industry, pioneered by companies like Ryanair and Spirit Airlines. The problem they solved is simple. How can you possibly offer a $50 flight across the country and still make a profit? The answer is a less charitable, but strategically identical, form of the Robin Hood model. The poor. The bait. This is the extremely price-sensitive traveler. Their only concern is getting from point A to point B for the absolute lowest possible price. The airline gives them exactly what they want, an impossibly cheap base ticket. This is the subsidized part of the deal. It gets them in the door and committed to the purchase. The rich. The profit. Here's where it gets interesting. The rich in this model are often the very same customers after they've bought the cheap ticket. The airline makes almost all of its profit by charging high prices for everything else. This is called ancillary revenue. Want to check a bag? That's a fee. Want to bring a carry-on? That's a fee. Want to choose your seat so you can sit with your family? Fee. Forgot to print your boarding pass? A very big fee. Want a bottle of water on the plane? Fee. The headline low fare gets the price-sensitive, poor customer to book. The high-margin fees for every single add-on then extract the real profit. The disciplined, no-frills travelers who bring nothing but a backpack are effectively subsidized by the travelers who pay for bags, seats, and snacks. Let's connect the dots. The Robin Hood strategy is a powerful form of cross-subsidization. 6 Toms uses the high profit margin from a retail shoe to pay for a donated shoe, creating a powerful brand story. LinkedIn provides a free service to 1 billion users to create a valuable network that it then sells access to for a high price to corporate clients. Budget airlines use a stunningly low base fare to acquire a customer, and then make their profit from high-margin fees and services. 7 And that is the secret. The Robin Hood strategy is not really about taking from the rich and giving to the poor in a charitable sense. It is about strategically using one customer segment to attract and create value for another, more profitable segment. The free product or the impossibly cheap service is not an act of kindness. It is a highly effective customer acquisition strategy. It builds the company's most valuable asset, a powerful brand narrative in the case of Toms, a massive network of users for LinkedIn, or dominant market share for Ryanair. This asset then becomes the very thing that the paying customers are lining up to get access to. If this strategy is giving you a new wealth of knowledge, you can share the wealth by hitting the like button and subscribing. The brilliance of the Robin Hood model is how it can solve the chicken and egg problem for businesses that rely on network effects. You can't attract paying customers without a big user base, but you can't build a big user base if you charge everyone from day one. By making the service free for the majority, a company like LinkedIn can build the network first, creating the valuable asset that it can then monetize. For mission-driven brands like Toms, the model transforms a simple purchase into a powerful statement of a customer's values, creating a level of brand loyalty that traditional advertising simply cannot buy. The broader business principle here is the power of building asymmetric business models. A traditional, symmetric model views and treats all its customers in the same way. An asymmetric model, like the Robin Hood strategy, understands that many markets are two-sided. By designing different offers for each side, one free to attract volume, one premium to capture value, a company can create a powerful, self-reinforcing system where each side of the model makes the other side more valuable. The lesson is to stop looking at your customers as one homogeneous group. Start looking for the interdependent relationships between different segments. That is where you might find your own Robin Hood strategy. If you learn something new, hit the like button and subscribe for more strategy breakdowns. And let us know in the comments, what company's strategy should we unlock next?